Have you ever looked at the world around us, the rapid rise of artificial intelligence, the constant headlines about wars and rumors of wars, the focus on Israel on the world stage, and wondered if we're living in a uniquely significant time? It's a feeling many share. Interestingly, thousands of years ago, a prophet named Daniel wrote about a series of events leading up to what he called the time of the end. Today, we're going to explore these ancient prophecies and see if they resonate with our modern world. Is it possible that the ticking hands of the doomsday clock are echoing a timeline laid out centuries ago? Let's start with a little background. The book of Daniel, found in the Old Testament, contains a series of visions about the rise and fall of great world empires. In one famous vision, King Nebuchadnezzar dreams of a giant statue made of different materials: a head of gold, chest and arms of silver, belly and thighs of bronze, legs of iron and feet of iron mixed with clay. Daniel interprets this dream, explaining that each part represents a successive kingdom: Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome. History confirms this sequence with remarkable accuracy. The Babylonian Empire was conquered by the Medo-Persians, who were in turn defeated by Alexander the Great and his Greek Empire. Then came the mighty Roman Empire, symbolized by the legs of iron. Daniel's prophecy described Rome as a power that would crush and break all the others, which is precisely what it did, dominating the known world for centuries. But what about the feet? The feet of iron mixed with clay. Daniel's interpretation is fascinating. He says this represents a divided kingdom, one that is partly strong like iron and partly brittle like clay. He even says, they will mix with one another in marriage, but they will not hold together, just as iron does not mix with clay. Many scholars believe this describes the state of Europe after the fall of the Roman Empire, a collection of nations, sometimes united through alliances and royal marriages, but ultimately divided and unable to truly unify into a single, cohesive empire like the ones before it. Think about the attempts throughout history to reunite Europe under one rule, from Charlemagne to Napoleon to the modern European Union. There's always been a struggle, a division, just as the prophecy described. This brings us to the climax of the vision. A stone, cut out by no human hand, strikes the statue on its feet of iron and clay, shattering it completely. This stone then grows into a great mountain that fills the whole earth. Daniel explains that in the days of those kings, the divided kingdoms represented by the fifth, the God of heaven, will set up a kingdom that shall never be destroyed. It's a powerful image of a final, divine kingdom replacing all human empires. So, how does any of this connect to our world today? This is where it gets really interesting. Daniel's prophecies don't just stop with the fall of Rome. He gives another vision, in chapter 7, of four beasts that also represent these same four kingdoms. But he goes further, describing a little horn that arises from the fourth beast, a powerful and arrogant ruler who persecutes the faithful. Many interpreters have seen this as a figure who emerges in the end times. Daniel also speaks specifically about the time of the end. In chapter 12, he's told, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Does that sound familiar? In the last century alone, we've gone from horse-drawn carriages to landing on the moon, from the telegraph to a globally connected internet in our pockets. The explosion of knowledge and the ease of travel running to and fro across the globe is a defining feature of our age. It's a pace of change unlike anything humanity has ever seen before. Now, let's talk about one of the most significant developments of our time: artificial intelligence. While the Bible obviously doesn't mention AI by name, some see parallels in the prophetic descriptions. Remember that statue in Nebuchadnezzar's dream? In the book of Revelation, which builds on Daniel's prophecies, there's a vision of a future global system and an image that is given the power to speak and act. Some wonder if advanced AI capable of governing, monitoring, and controlling society on a massive scale could be a fulfillment of such prophecies. It's a thought-provoking idea. We are creating systems with increasing intelligence and autonomy. Could this technology play a role in the end-time scenario described in the Bible? It's a question worth pondering as we witness AI's exponential growth. Another key element in Daniel's prophecies is war and conflict. Jesus himself, when asked about the end of the age, said in Matthew 24, "You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." While war has always been a part of human history, the 20th and 21st centuries have seen conflict on a global scale, with weapons of unprecedented destructive power. The constant tension between major world powers, the regional conflicts that threaten to spill over, and the general sense of instability seem to align with this prophetic warning. The world often feels like it's on a knife's edge, a sentiment that resonates deeply with these ancient texts. And then there is the nation of Israel. This is perhaps one of the most compelling aspects for many who study prophecy. For nearly 2,000 years, after the destruction of Jerusalem by the Romans in 70 AD, the Jewish people were scattered across the globe. The land of Israel was ruled by a succession of other powers. Many thought the nation was gone for good. Yet, against all odds, in 1948, Israel was reborn as a nation in its ancestral homeland. This event is seen by many as a super sign of the end times. Why? Because so many biblical prophecies, including those in Daniel, Ezekiel, and Zechariah, speak of God gathering his people back to their land in the last days, just before the final events of history unfold. For example, Ezekiel 37 describes a valley of dry bones coming back to life, which is interpreted as the restoration of the house of Israel. The very existence of the modern state of Israel, and its constant presence at the center of global politics, is viewed as a direct fulfillment of prophecy, setting the stage for what is to come. Daniel's prophecy of the 70 weeks, for instance, is intricately tied to the city of Jerusalem and the Jewish people. The fact that Jerusalem is once again a focal point of world attention is, for many, no coincidence. So, when we put all the pieces together, the historical accuracy of Daniel's predictions about past empires, the description of a final, divided world power that resembles modern Europe, the explosion of knowledge and travel, the rise of powerful technologies like AI, the persistence of global conflict, and the miraculous rebirth of Israel, it paints a compelling picture. It feels as though the stage is being set. The elements described thousands of years ago seem to be converging in our lifetime. Of course, no one knows the day or the hour. The Bible is very clear about that. The purpose of prophecy is not to create a detailed down-to-the-minute timeline for us to follow, but to give us hope and to encourage us to pay attention. It's a call to look at the world not with fear, but with understanding, to see a larger story unfolding. It's a reminder that, despite the chaos and uncertainty we see in the headlines, there is a belief that history is not random but is moving toward a predetermined conclusion. Whether you are a person of faith or simply someone curious about history and the future, the parallels between Daniel's prophecies and our current world are undeniably fascinating. It challenges us to think bigger, to look beyond the daily news cycle, and to consider the possibility that we are part of a grand, unfolding narrative that began long ago. The doomsday clock, a secular symbol of our potential for self-destruction, ticks on. But perhaps, for those who look closely, the ancient prophecies of Daniel offer a different kind of clock, one that ticks not toward annihilation but toward a promised new beginning. What do you think? Do you see these connections in the world around you? I'd love to read your thoughts in the comments below. This is a huge topic, and we've only scratched the surface. If you found this exploration interesting, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and may you find hope and encouragement in your search for truth.